Right, 31st of July 2025, Crazy Market Talk with Kel, Crazy, where logic meets profit. All right, guys, we're going to see a lot of things today. There's a lot of news ongoing right now. And of course, later on, we'll do the KCX. All right, because gold has hit KCX. I'll talk about that shortly. So disclaimer apply as usual. Please make sure that you use the proper risk management or money management. All right, so on the revision side later on, we'll review how to use the KCX technique again. And this will be very important for traders. All right, just give me a minute. Let me just try to. Okay, so let's start the thing right now. A bit of a thing here. All right, so let's go to the fundamental news, the macro picture. Yeah, the macro picture. Let's go. Okay, so first of all, the S&P 500 basically traded lower as the Dow went down when Jerome Powell signaled that the Federal Reserve is not ready for rate cuts. Now, of course, it's not ready for the one in July, but apparently when he was asked for September, which widely expected to be a rate cut, he actually says that he's not ready and not looking at it. And that immediately the market got into a question mark altogether. Yeah. So let's take a look here itself. Investor paused when comments from Jerome Powell at the press conference for insight of the next move. After he didn't budge on the July one, he said he had made no decision about a potential policy change in September. Our obligation is to keep longer-term inflation expectation well anchored and to prevent a one-time increase in the price level from becoming an ongoing inflation problem. Higher tariff has begun to show through more clearly that the price of some goods but the overall effects on economic activity and inflation remain to be seen. Okay, so in short itself, right, he's saying that no point to basically for someone's agenda to cut the interest rate and then after that create an inflation issue. And when that happens, you will take more effort to basically curb inflation. And I totally agree with him on this. All right. So one thing is that we can see immediately is how the market reacted. All right, the market reacted from the high level all the way down last night. Towards the end, the market recovered was because of the earnings from all the different technology companies. We'll cover that shortly. Yeah. Now, very interesting that is the central bank, right, to keep rates the same wasn't all unanimous. Apparently, the Michelle Bodman and Christopher Waller, they were against it. They were favoring for a quarter cut at the current policy. Now, we all know that the two of them are very dovish and they want the rate to go down. All right. But of course, Jerome Powell being the Fed chairman and plus most of them 9-2 prefer no rate cut. So that's why overall it stands there. Yeah. And of course, we will know that now the market is buying on top because Meta share, as I told you, will be going up. Truth be told, they beat the revenue. And of course, at the same time, their Reality Labs posted $4.53 billion in losses, but that is near its expected losses. They expect that things will get better later on. Now, this Zuckerberg, right, Mark Zuckerberg, right, shares AI personal super intelligence vision after spending billions on the top talent. He's been buying a lot of talent across. I think he recently bought one guy, a Chinese guy, to join him, and that's for billions of dollars, and really coming up. So he's the guy who really, if you have talent, he don't mind bringing you in. Now, Microsoft shares pop 8%. Pop means go up, yeah, on earnings as their revenue top $75 billion. So again, I said to you, Microsoft should do well indeed. All right, now Microsoft, because of that, has topped the $4 trillion market cap after the hours, joining NVIDIA in the really exclusive club. Now, this is the first time two companies, $4 trillion worth. Wow, it's really amazing. Now, $4 trillion, it means that you put them together, it's $8 trillion already. That's loads and loads of money, yeah, for just two companies alone. And that's why I say the stock market now is really buoyant by these few counters. And that's why some of the counters are related to them. They'll be making money too, like Qualcomm. They also profited from the Meta Sun smart glasses. But of course, some other company like ARMS, they dip on revenue. And we also know that Robinhood also did well because of their trading. Then Trump basically, right, slapped a universal 50% tariff on copper import, basically, and metal price have to plunge. All right, that's how things happen. Why, when it hit them itself, they caused the price to go down. And the thing is this, we saw a very incredible move in there's a massive earthquake in Russia, and that causes a lot of alarm going on. And apparently itself, I told you guys that we probably may see something very soon. If not happen on 5th of July, it could be like somewhere in August to September period. So that's why for friends are going to Japan, please be very, very careful. And of course, JP Morgan start to continue to enable the crypto purchases via credit card. So that means that crypto is here to stay. And last two news is that we all know that Donald Trump has said Friday tariff, which is tomorrow, will not extend. So he says that he's very clear what he wants to do, and he has to do that. He issued to more than 2 dozen countries to set the tariff to set in by August. So there will be a lot of news coming up on the tariff, and do expect that some will be good, some will be bad. And interestingly, it's all right. The US economy grew at 3% rate in Q2, a better than expected pace, even though the tariff hit. Now, this is interesting. The thing is that we expected the number to be lower, but it came out higher. So I felt that something is very wrong here as well. So I'm not too sure what is this. I'll go into deeper and do an MAO on this for this video. Yeah. But the point is this right now, I cannot see how this thing is moving. So unless there is any artificial support somewhere in the market. Okay. So whether it is right, if the GDP is doing well and the stock market is doing well, of course, this will be a continuous bull market. But if you ask me, seriously, I really have my doubt because everything is so overvalued. And out of the 500 S&P shares itself, right, only 7 to 10 companies are doing better than expected. The remaining 490 ain't doing that well. And that is something that doesn't make sense here. Now, gold basically went down below 3,300 as Jerome Powell pushed back. So once he pushed back the rate cut, that means the dollar will recover. And without recover, that's how and why the gold fell yesterday. Now, yesterday, gold came down quite hard because the dollar went up quite a fair bit. So I think this is what I'm waiting for, because you see, we all know that it's just a matter of time that Jerome Powell will buckle and then cut the interest rate. It's just a matter of time. So you cut it during the time when it's good or cut it during the time it's bad. That is really depending on the market. So now he doesn't want to cut interest rate because he don't want the inflation issue to come in. So of course, by doing that, the dollar will strengthen and that will push down gold. But the thing is this, as they don't cut interest rate, the 4% at the moment now is going to hit US this pocket very badly. It's like Donald Trump is so angry with Jerome Powell. So again, when that doesn't happen itself, right, the money that they have now will be lesser, and that will create more problems, stretch the economy, stretch the earnings, stretch the companies even worse. So to me, it's just a matter of time that Jerome Powell will have to cut interest rate during the bad time, if I see that. And when that happens itself, right, the gold will fly up even higher. And that's the reason why I believe gold will definitely be going up together with silver in the long run. All right, that's my personal take. If all clear, press number 1 right now. Okay, all right. So let's now go into the market. Well, let's look at the US Dow Jones first to begin with. Now, the US Dow Jones this morning opening price is 44,510. The MLP is above them, 45,555. Okay, so this morning the market open and then went all the way up to MLP, and now it's trading above MLP. So with the KSI green and the KCX black, obviously it's very bullish at the moment. So the market should be trading higher. Now there is a KCB right here at 44,621, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So with that itself, right, that means that the market most likely will be going to this level because of the pivot 1. Pivot 1 is at 44,466. So this number means that the market now is doing a classic buy signal. So as long as the market stays above OP, it will be a buy for the Dow Jones, okay? Now, there's something very important is that there is a MA30 at 44,464, which is very near to pivot 1. So I'm going to say this up front here. At the moment now, what you're seeing is CCYR. The color changed from yellow to red on a day chart. So by right, the market should be falling off. But because of today's pivot is holding up the market, so the buying is still going to be there. But if the market do break below opening price in the later stage of today, for today, if it breaks below the opening price and break below pivot 1 and break below MA30, oh gosh, guys, there will be very serious selling. I repeat again, if the market do break this three item OP, pivot, MA30 at the same time and trade below, there will be a very serious selling. So guys, this one you have to take note. Now, I don't know what would that be, but based on charting wise, we need to be very, very careful. All right, if all clear, press number 2 right now. Now, how low can the market be going? Well, there's a KCB around here that's untouched yet. So that is somewhere around, let me take a look, 44,198. Yeah, 44,198. Okay, so upside we know, downside we also know. So we just have to trade along the lines. Okay, just trade along the lines. You will know what to do. Yeah. Okay. Okay, today I'll talk about the S&P 500. Let's take a look at S&P. Now, the S&P 500 now is seemingly gearing to touch the previous high. The previous high is at this 64.23, yeah, 64.23, 6423. I think the market is going to go for it today. All right, 6423. Once it touches there, that is where I think the market may take a deep pullback. Now, why is that so? Because you can see the KSI is all the way red right now for the last 2 days. So while the market is going up, the KSI is going up at the same time, but it's a red color KSI. So that's the reason why, to me itself, right, that why I said earlier itself, if the Dow Jones to break down, there could be some form of selling. So the thing is this, for today, the pivot one is at 63, 68. So it's a very classic buy signal. So 6401 above OP is a buy, and now it's going up by about 19 points already. Yeah. All right. So MLP, MA30 are all there. So that basically confirmed the upside. But the upside itself, in my opinion, we are near a peak. So I suspect that if after that, the market may test back down again. So let's look at this for long term. Yeah. I think that the MA30 6307 should be able to trigger the next few days if the market failed to go any point higher. All right, so traders watch out for that. Yeah. All right, let's talk about gold today. Now, gold, I'll talk about it a little bit and then I'll come to gold later in the second half video. Yeah. Okay. So gold, as you can see right now, there is no diamonds at the moment, and a lot of people asking me, how come no diamonds? Well, the setup is not there. So by right itself, right, you should put a line here, which is a white line. Okay, just change the color a little bit to white. Okay, so this was the diamond line, right? Diamond. So initially the market couldn't stay above it. And once it crossed above it, that's why the gold shot up. Okay, that's first round. Now the second round, as you can see, the price pulled back and then it went to below here. And once the market below diamond line, CCYR, color change from yellow to red, it's a sell. So that's why gold slammed. So it's very important to understand how to use the diamond line. The same diamond line can be used for buying when everything is in the buy zone. It can be for selling when it's a sell zone. Buy zone means the color, the yellow color for the candle, the KSI has to be green, the KCX must be black. For sell zone, the color must be red, the KSI must be red, and the KCX must be blue, right? That is how you see for that. Okay, so now gold today, the opening price is 32.76. The pivot one is 32.79. So by right itself, once the market goes above pivot one, is a buy. And this morning we called for buy, and we very profited by selling gold earlier at 32.88.89. Congratulations to those who followed. Now, if the gold continue to go higher, the first resistance will be MLP. The first resistance will be at MLP, so the market will stop there first. Now, one thing to note, the KCX is already blinking at the bottom. So later on in the second segment, don't go away. I'll tell you how to make money from gold. You shouldn't give this a miss. Yeah, make sure you are around. Right, so that is gold for us. Silver, let's take a look at silver. All right, silver basically is the same thing for gold, but it's now trading below pivot one. Gold was above pivot one. Now gold for silver is 37.09. It's the opening price. Currently now it's trading below OP, below pivot one. That's why it's a sell at the moment, because you get restricted at the resistance. And of course, the boys are also selling at the same time. So unless silver recover above OP, then we can see silver going back up to the MLP at 37.66 level. Okay, that is for silver. Now, the next market we'll take a look will be the Bitcoin industry, Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is still slotting. Now, guys, when you see my chart, right, if you don't see any diamonds, right, you move around, you don't see at all, that means that the diamond is missing, right? Just right click and press refresh, all right? Because the diamond need computation. That's why you take a while to calculate, all right? So this Bitcoin and this gold is about the same. Is that they have been sideways for many, many days. Oh my goodness, the number of days that sideways is really long. But the difference is this, while the market is like trying to go higher, the KSI, as you can see, is red in color, KCX is blue in color. So which means that there is some selling forces in the market. That's why the market now cannot go up, yeah? But today, because of the pivot one, it's at 117, right? So now it's really at 118. So likely Bitcoin should be able to test 118 to 119 target, all right? Of course, if Bitcoin can go to 1,020, that'll be better. But of course, I don't think it happen instantly right now. Yeah. Okay, last one, it will be the crude oil price or then of currency. Okay, crude oil price has continued to go up. Interestingly, I told you, right? The price continued to go up past $71 yesterday while the boys are still selling, but the retails are buying. Okay, so now what do we understand from here? Very simple, guys. As long as crude oil stay above OP, it's still a buy. This one, you have to understand that. Second, if it's going to go up itself, I'm pretty confident you go to 72.83. Yesterday I told you it goes 71, it's happening. Because both MA30 and MA200 are all supporting the upside at the moment, yeah? Okay, so the thing is this, if let's say there is no compromisation between the Russia and the Ukraine, then of course the Russia may continue some sanction, and then that will bring the price higher. But of course, US can also do the same thing to bring the price lower. So I still believe that if the market can stay above OP, the very high chance that the market is going to go for this number, 7283, and then after that, it will hit the midpoint of this big wave of selling, and that will be a very interesting point to watch out for. Okay. And the last one, it will be on the euro currency, euro. Now, euro, as you can see very clearly, that is coming down because of the dollar strength. And same thing, put a diamond in by refreshing it. You can see right now the diamond is there, and there is a line to be drawn at the closing price. And you can see when the market is above OP, above OP and above the diamond line, you buy. But once it's below, no matter what you tell me, you're a seller. So that's how simple the system is. Very, very simple. You just have to follow the OP rule, follow the coloration, follow the the diamond line, you're done. All right, so the thing is this, while the market is cascading downwards, so is the boys are selling and increasingly. So the thing is this, based on the chart right now, today, the pivot one's on top, the OP is here. So by right, if the market is to recover, it should go back up to the MLP for the first time. MLP, yeah? All right, so if the market continue to fall for whatever reason, then the market can sell down all the way potentially to 113 level. Okay, so we will take a look here and we'll see how it goes. But with the KSI and KCX all at the downside, it's very interesting at the moment right now. Okay, guys, within this 20-minute span, I've covered a lot of market. I hope you enjoyed that. I also covered the macro picture. So let's take a short 1-minute break. We'll come back and we'll do the KCX. So 1-minute break, don't go away.